Now it's time for News Extra, and brought to you by Gering Civic Center. Here's Kevin Mooney.
Thank you, Dennis. Good morning, everyone. It's only a couple of days away. The Polar Plunge coming up on Saturday to benefit Special Olympics Nebraska. We have Sheriff Mark Overman here, as well as Kathy Scott from Special Olympics. So we'll give you a rundown on how the Polar Plunge is going to work and where the money is going. So Mark, coming up a couple of days from now, and I know you've got a lot of interest, more interest this year than in previous years, right?
Yes, Kevin, this is our third year, and it's just grown every year. And I think the word travels about how much fun people have down there, and it's just a party atmosphere. And you know, for some people have told me this was on their bucket list to always do something like that, and some people are just maybe foolish enough to do it over and over again.
Like you, for example?
Well, maybe I'm one of them, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So explain where it is, what time we start, and what all is involved.
Okay. It's going to be at the Monument Pathway parking lot, which is in Riverside Park near the YMCA camp in Scottsbluff. And we're going to start the registration at 9:30. We'll have people there before then. The registration starts at 9:30, and then we're going to start the plunge right at 11. And then there's just going to be one group after another. And last year, I think we had about 80 people plunging, and everybody had plunged within 30 minutes. So it doesn't take very long. We're going to have bleachers set up. Bleachers, we're borrowing them from the city of Gering. We appreciate that. And we're going to have 3 bleachers set up this year. Last year we filled 2 of them and had people just, at least that many people standing around. So we thought we had 400 or 500 people last year. I think just by the registrations I've seen so far and the interest, there's going to be more.
Okay. Good deal. And then, of course, you're going to have High Plains Spas helps out. You're going to have tents
right
there. Let's explain some of that stuff.
Well, after you jump in, the first place I recommend going is to the High Plains Spas hot tubs, because they'll have a couple of hot tubs, and so you get sure you get cold, but it doesn't last long, because within a minute or two you're out of the river and you can hop in that hot tub. And then the National Guard has big tent there. It's separated for men and women. You can get out of your cold clothes, and so you don't stay cold very long at all.
All right. And then we got to thank Paul Reed and Tom Donahue as well, right? And the YMCA, of course.
Well, we couldn't do it without the YMCA, because our after plunge party and reception is there, and a meal put on by Kathy Scott and the Special Olympics families. Paul Reed, they came down with a big piece of equipment and helped us prepare the site, make it much better than it's been in the past. So we really appreciate that, and we're going to have the Tommy's Johnny's there this year. That's going to be a nice change. That's something we always had to send people to the YMCA, and it's just a little too far. So that's a nice change.
All right. We're going to talk to Kathy Scott here and tell you about where the money's going to and how they use it right after this.
With 20 years of legendary meeting success, high-speed wireless internet for 200 computers, Polycom video system on 5 jumbo screens, and the catering overachievers, the meat shop, cooking, you need to call West Nebraska's premier multifunction facility for your next business meeting. Call 436-6888 or visit www.geringciviccenter.com. The Gering Civic Center, beyond marvelous.
We're talking this morning about the Polar Plunge on News Extra. Sheriff Mark Overman is here, as well as Kathy Scott from the Nebraska Special Olympics locally around here. And Kathy, this is a big event for you guys. Last year raised $12,000. Probably going to raise more than that this year. As a matter of fact, I can almost guarantee it will. So tell us how important it is and where and what the money's used for.
It's very important for the athletes back here. We, of course, are one of the teams that goes across the state. And once we get to Omaha or Lincoln, then the state picks up a lot of the expenses that we have. And it's critical. There's a few states that absolutely have the athletes cover everything. And we're very lucky here in Nebraska that the head office there in Sony in Omaha work very hard to support those individuals that, for the most part, couldn't do this unless they had that support.
All right, very good. And you guys have a big competition coming up on March 15th we want to highlight here, right?
Regional competition qualifies the athletes to go to the state competition, and that's happening at March 15th, 9:30 at the Splash Arena for the swimming competition, and then around 1 o'clock at Mitchell High School for the basketball competition.
All right.
And that qualifies those individuals to participate at state.
All right. How do folks get involved in that?
Either by calling the state offices or calling calling me. And my cell phone is 641-0863. And if they want to volunteer, fantastic. Mitchell High School always has a lot of their students help with that program, as does the Splash. And we're very well supported by the volunteers. And I don't think if you've ever seen a competition with Special Olympics, you need to come. It's much different than the high school or any other competition. We root for everybody, even our competitors. And this is when you have an individual who will stop and help a competitor versus going on and let them, sink or swim or whatever. So it's very different, and you find people who really work hard, do the best they can.
All right. Quickly to back to Mark, you're going to have beauty queen judges here, and then we need to tell people how to get registered if they want to do it ahead of time, and they also need to raise a certain amount per individual, right?
Right. The first thing, Kevin, we are going to have some judges this year, and we have some beauty queens recruited to do that, and they're going to be in the river on the boat so that they'll be actually facing the crowd. So they'll be judging, and the best way to register for this and find out more information, go to the scottsbluffcounty.org website. As soon as you get there, there's a Polar Plunge link on the front, and that will give you all the information you need, all the forms that you need. The First Giving website, there's a link in there to register at First Giving, and that's very simple to do. You do not have to pre-register to come and plunge. You can show up on plunging day with your team. We ask every team member to raise $50. We ask for 4-person teams, but if you just have 2, we're not going to turn you away.
All right. Very good. Once again, this Saturday, get out there, 9:30 registration, 11 o'clock is a plunge over at Riverside Park, and I think you'll have a lot of fun.
Thanks, and I'm encouraging older people because I don't want to win that award.
Right now, he's the oldest plunger, so he's encouraging somebody older than Mark. We won't tell you how old he is, but we need to get somebody up there between 55 and 60, let's say. Closer to 60.
If we could just get you, Kevin.
All right. Very good. Thanks.